All right, dummies, today I'm going to rank these Sayian transformations from the Dragon Ball series. This covers the transformations from Dragon Ball Z, GT, and Super. Always remember, my opinions are objectively true, and anyone who disagrees with me is wrong. As a side note, we will also include the transformations in the movies, but we will be excluding Heroes and the latest superhero movie. All right, without further delay, let's begin. Our first form comes from the Frieza Saga, Super Saiyan. This was a masterpiece when it happened. Goku finally explodes emotionally after watching the death of his best childhood friend Krillin. When this moment came, I nearly choked on the nuggies I was eating. Thankfully, Diet Coke was there to save the day, just as much as Goku was there to beat the living shit out of Frieza. This is an easy S tier, both for the moment and the transformation. Next is Super Saiyan 2. For those of you in the dark and while you're watching this, I'll never understand, but this was another moment that for me was pretty good. First time we see Super Saiyan 2 in full force is when Gohan finally snaps against the villain Cell and he destroys the Cell Juniors with one hit apiece. Frankly, this was another ball-tensing moment for me. Seeing Gohan go from a screaming, headbutting, and scared brat to a rather OP character for a short time was kind of fun. However, I do think this one loses only some credibility because it's ruined with Goku being a complete idiot. How someone can be so smart and yet pull some dumb shit so easily leaves me speechless at times. But not this time. No one is going to shut me up about this scene. Because of Goku, this moment only gets an A tier, but could very well be the best scene of Super Saiyan 2. Frankly, I love the scene between Goku and Vegeta better, as they were both in Saiyan 2 during that fight. The next one is going to be a massive hit and miss for me, Super Saiyan 3. This transformation is easily one of those that is cool, but confusing to me. Why do we have to see the caveman eyebrows? Why do they lose their actual eyebrows during this form? It's also strange. Even more, they grow hair down to their feet that looks very much like if Raditz went into a teenage phase and dyed his hair. Or maybe the Saiyans seen the old 80s hair bands and wanted to give it a shot. Either way, this one is an easy B tier for me because of how weak the form really proves to be. Too short a time to use it and never being able to do anything too effective in the time given. However, I will offer some bonus points for defeating Hirudegarn with the Dragon Fist. Before we move completely on, and before I get a bunch of comments about it, let me clarify one thing. Fuck Godinks, he's a loser, and I'm a winner, and rich, so I don't put up with two losers. He's a useless as the G in lasagna, and I love lasagna, almost as much as I love my McDonald's. Next up is Super Saiyan 4, probably my favorite transformation of any of the series. The idea that gaining power as a Saiyan means you revert more to the base instincts of a blood-hungry warrior is great narrative storytelling for me. When Goku looks at Shenron and tells him that it's hard to contain himself in his form due to the anger and the want to kill in this form, made me tingle in all the right places. I wanted to build a statue of this form and place it right in the main office of Trump Tower. Maybe I still will. Super Saiyan 4 Trump, either way, easy S tier. Let's move on. As we move into Super, we see Super Saiyan God. This one was an all-around disappointment. Worse than Super Saiyan 3, and nowhere near as good of a fight as 3 always got. Even when this form reappeared in the Tournament of Power, it was still quite useless. Totally outshined by Ultra Instinct, and even that one became a disappointment in its own right, but we'll get to that. D tier all the way for this one. Vegeta redeemed it a bit, but not enough to move up a grade. Sticking to Super Saiyan God, we look at Super Saiyan God Blue with Kaioken. I know I'm skipping regular Blue, but we will get back to that. Let's just say one thing about this form. Kaioken saves this form. To me, God Blue was another disappointment. Sure, they were pushing the God Key motif, but even still, I don't understand what was supposed to be so good about this transformation. If Goku or Vegeta went blue, one of two things were going to happen all the time. Either they were about to kick serious ass or get their asses seriously kicked. Glass cannons are still made, therefore they are useless. Think I'm wrong? Think again, like I said before. My opinions are objectively true, and disagreeing makes you wrong. Another of my favorite forms, Super Saiyan Rose. The Goku Black arc was masterful in its own right, letting the voice actor for Goku let out his evil side and show his vocal range for a very good villain in the wannabe god Zamasu was fantastic. Introducing an evil Kai was also a great story. This one will always get 2 thumbs up from me. However, it misses S tier for one reason: God plague. Hating all of humanity is one thing, but killing everyone on Earth with essentially a giant atmosphere-sized fart is just wrong. On top of that, killing all of humanity threatens the word of Trump. And no one touches the Don. A tier. Ultra Instinct is next. The first time this form is teased against Jiren, I have to admit, was not bad. The fact that Goku once again pushes beyond the limits that even the gods can't see will always be quite the amazing feat. The idea that one can tap into their own power so well that dodging is as easy as a lazy sway is very close to Trump-style form. The problem with this one, however, is the timing. Much like Saiyan 3, this form suffers from too much power in too little time. Not to mention that Goku is nearly torn to shreds after only 2 minutes of action seems like a dick tease to me. It's like being offered a smell of apple pie when you can actually eat the damn thing. Also seems like too much bluster and show without enough payout. Not a wise business choice, and I'm a great businessman. C tier. True Ultra Instinct. Let me be very clear and brief. This one is shit. Pure dog water. This is like asking for Diet Coke and getting a Diet Pepsi instead. Sure, the hair is nice, and I should know about nice hair. I have a great barber, and I'm a natural blonde. Not enough power for my money. This one would be fired immediately. D tier. Next, a backtrack, but only slightly. Super Saiyan God Blue. This one, I won't lie, lands in C tier for me, because every time I see Vegeta hit this form, I know that shit just got real. It's beautiful to look at later on in the series, all except for that blue Gogeta with its pseudo CGI effects later. With that, we move on. Speaking of fusions, Saiyan Blue Vegito. Let's make this quick and clean. Vegito is the better fusion. Arrogant, but not too much. And powerful enough to back up any talk with actual walk. This is true Trump style here. If I ran a Trump-style school of martial arts, this would be one of my top students. Not exactly S tier for me, though, as he gets humbled pretty good by Zamasu. I think it'll settle for a good mid-B tier. Next, legendary Super Saiyan. I loved Broly when he was first introduced in Z, a true villain in Saiyan form. The idea that the perfect warrior with the strongest form of legend was a brutal killing machine. All about this form is beautiful. Even the hint of green with the power is even better. The retelling of making Broly more of a gentle, nature-loving giant is a bit of a strange turn for me, but I do love the scars that were added. Added bonus is the fact that he is shown to be strong enough now to tear through dimensions with his power. Simply amazing. True Trump star of approval. S tier. Honorable mentions time. First, Kaioken. Always loved it. The red aura was always a good cosmetic and was even good enough to bring Blue up to C tier. Power of a Saiyan without the Trump riz. A tier. Next, Pseudo Super Saiyan. Shown in the Lord Slug movie, this one gave a call back to the idea of emotions mean power in Dragon Ball. Awesome narrative, awesome look, thus awesome result. S tier. Super Saiyan Awakened. Not much else to say here. All the look and rage with no aura to be visibly seen. Very shortly lived, however. Let's be real, though. They were inspired by me on this one. That hair is magnificent. But there is only one Don. B tier. Last, the great ape forms. Golden is a hard C tier. The idea of the great ape going super just sold me. Great ape is hard D tier. Useless in almost every instance it comes around. Very sad. Even Vegeta couldn't make this form look good. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more tier lists, comment below and like the video. Trump out.